Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our monthly meeting of the Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals. At this time, I would like to ask everyone who is able to stand, please do so and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will now call our meeting to order. At this time, if you haven't already, please silence your cell phones. Thank you. For those of you who do not have a copy of the agenda or who are attending for the very first time, we will address cases that are on consent first. These are cases that have been reviewed by the board and by the professionals from various departments within the county, and to which there is no known opposition at this time. We have discussed these in our work session. Certain staff comments and stipulations have been made, and we do not anticipate any further discussion is needed for a decision. So as we go forward, the County Zoning Division Manager, Mr. John Peterson, will read each case into the record. Mr. Peterson will ask that you raise your hand as your case is called to signify that you are present. If you are here in opposition to a case that is currently on consent, Mr. Peterson will ask you to identify yourself as that case is read into record. We will then pull that case off of consent and hear it as part of our regular case agenda. We will then vote on all the cases still on consent at one time. Once we have approved the cases on consent, we will move forward to our regular case agenda. With that, Mr. Peterson, will you get us started?
Sure, and thank you, Madam Chair. Before we begin the consent agenda, I do have two announcements to make. First, there is one case on today's printed agenda, and this case has been withdrawn without prejudice, and this case will not be heard today. That's variance case V28 of 2026, Preston Reed. This case has been withdrawn without prejudice and will not be heard today. Secondly, case number V13 of 2026, Gary Bryant Gilmore. This case was continued by the staff until the March 11th, 2026 variance hearing. So V13 of 2026 will not be heard today. And Madam Chair and Board, it's my understanding that the staff needs to continue one other variance that's on today's agenda, and we will need a vote on this one. But variance case V29 of 2026, Denise Meyer, it's my understanding that that case needs to be continued so they can work some things out with stormwater management.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
And we'll wait for Barkley to get seated just one moment, and then we'll call to question.
And I did hear it as I was coming in.
Wonderful, thank you. Call to question? Passes 5-0. Mr. Peterson, if you'll continue.
Okay, and that case is continued until March 11th. And with that, Madam Chair and Board, I'm ready to start the consent agenda. Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals, variance hearing consent agenda for February 11th, 2026. First case on consent is variance case V23. Wendell Floyd requests a variance to allow a temporary or permanent sign to cover more than 50% of the window glass on each pane of glass in land lots 1032 and 1057 of the 17th district. Property is located on the southwest corner of Paris Ferry Road and Interstate North Parkway. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to the variance case of V23? Okay, let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V24, Vinings Church requests a variance to allow a temporary or permanent sign to cover more than 50% of the window glass surface for each pane of glass in land lot 748 of the 17th district. The property is located on the northeast side of Atlanta Road and on the westerly side of Winchester Parkway. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V24? And let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V25, Eric Briss requests a variance to 1, reduce the setback for an accessory structure which is an existing 206 square foot shed from required 40 feet to 25 feet adjacent to the southern property line. And number 2, reduce the front setback from required 35 feet to 29 feet in land lot A10 of the 16th district. The property is located at the terminus of San Andre Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Present. Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to the variance case of E25? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case of V26, Brandy Weldy, requests a variance to allow an accessory use, which is proposed pool equipment, to be located on the side of the principal building in land lot 529 of the 16th district. The property is located on the west side of Holly Springs Road, west of Paul's Way. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to the variance case of V26? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case of V27, Malone Construction Company requests a variance to 1, increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage from required 35% to 63.4%. And number 2, reduce the setbacks for accessory use, which is existing pool equipment from required 5 feet to 2 feet, adjacent to the northern property line in land lot 1004, the 17th district. The property is located on the north side of Rivers Cobb Boulevard, north of Soaring Hawk Point. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to the variance case of V27? Okay, let the record show there's no one opposed. And last, variance case V30, Ron King, Classic LLC, requests a variance to reduce the side setback required 25 feet to 17 feet adjacent to the western property line in land lot 351 of the 19th district. The property is located on the north side of Velma Drive, north of Mary L. Trail. Staff recommends approval, subject to site plan review comments. Is the applicant present? Yes, sir. Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to the variance case of V30? Let the record show there's no one opposed, and that completes the printed consent agenda, Madam Chair and Board.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns from any of the board members?
Yes. Let's see, we've already moved the B29, correct?
Correct.
And is it possible for me to ask that we add another case to the consent agenda at this time, or no?
Yes, and I'll go ahead and read it in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, variance case V18, Ernest Crumley requests a variance to 1, reduce the front setback from required 35 feet to 31 feet. And number 2, reduce setback for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 405 square foot shaded area with fireplace from required 35 feet to 5 feet, adjacent to the northeast property line in land lot 253 of the 20th district. The property is located at the northeast corner of Lattimore Farm Drive and Covell Court. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case of V18? And let the record show there's no one opposed. And if Mr. Boulogne could read in the proposed stipulations.
Yes, and then after consultation with the applicant, I understand these stipulations are acceptable, and I'll just ask them to just confirm by raising their hand. Otherwise, we'll hear this. But rear setback reduction will be to 7 feet from the rear property line instead of 5 feet, as proposed. Applicant to provide a new plan showing that, and this would also be subject to all staff comments, not otherwise in conflict.
Applicant, if you will signify by raising your hand that you agree to those terms and conditions? Okay, with that, Mr. Boulogne, will
Thank
you
you.
make a motion?
Yeah, that is my motion, that we amend the consent agenda by those additions.
Is there a second? Call to question? It passes 5-0. Consent agenda passes 5-0 with the stipulations to the motion made by Commissioner Boulogne on V18. All right, thank you. For those of you that were on the consent agenda, you are free to leave at this time if you will do so expeditiously and quietly.
Madam Chair, if you could also just advise Ms. Meyer, if she's present, that she's free to go and come back in March.
Yes, Ms. Meyer, are you present? Okay, if you did not hear, your case has been continued until our March 11th hearing, and so you are free to also go. You're very welcome. With that, for those of you who are still here, we are now ready to proceed with our regular case agenda. Our procedure here is that Mr. Peterson will read a case into the record. The applicant and/or representative of the applicant who wishes to speak will be asked to come forward to be sworn in. Likewise, anyone wishing to speak in opposition or support will be asked to come forward to be sworn in as well. The applicant and the opposition will each have a total of 10 minutes to present their case, regardless of the number of individuals speaking for either side. All testimony must be given to the podium to my right, where full AV capabilities are available. Please be sure to speak into the mic so that we can clearly hear you. Following the presentations, members of the board may ask questions directed at either party. Please note that once comments from all parties have concluded and the public hearing has been formally closed, no further comments will be permitted unless specifically requested by a member of the board. If you are called upon, you will be asked to return to the podium to respond. With that, Mr. Peterson, we are ready for our first and only case.
Okay. Next case we're going to hear is variance case V22, Anna Major. Request a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is an existing 192 square foot shed, required 35 feet to 0 feet, adjacent to the northeastern property line, and 3 feet adjacent to the southeastern property line in land lot 699 of the 16th district. The property is located at the terminus of Piedmont Glen Court. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V22? Okay, let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward and be sworn in?
Good afternoon. If you will please state your name and then please just give us whatever information you have regarding your variance request.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Anna Major, and we were making this request because it's a shed that was built 6 years ago that's never had an issue with it, and so we were just asking for extension of the setbacks. It had been brought up as a community complaint because of perhaps being in question of the setbacks, and so since the structure had already been built, we were just asking if we could reduce those setbacks.
Does that complete your testimony?
I mean, I don't have much to add. We did not acquire a permit at the time of build, not because we were trying to avoid getting permitted. We were simply unaware. I know that's not an excuse. First time that we were living in a neighborhood without an HOA, there had been a shed there previously when we purchased the property that was falling apart, and so we just replaced it with this one.
Since your claim does reside in District 3, I'll turn it over to District 3 Commissioner Summer Hour to lead the discussion. And since there is an opposition, just stay in place, and I'm sure she'll have questions for you and staff.
Okay.
All right. So the shed in question is within 10 foot of the sewer easement.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Not only that, it's also in the floodway,
Okay.
another major problem.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the shed's going to have to be moved.
There's no way to mitigate that, or
No,
okay.
it's got to be built to code specifications with so many feet from the sewer easement, out of the floodway, and from the setbacks.
Okay.
So
And I think that easement runs through our whole back
It does.
property. And as far as an accessory structure, I know it needs to be behind the home. Is there an option that it could be somewhat adjacent, or
that would
if
be
we were to move it?
something you could talk to planning and zoning about.
Okay.
Yeah, and the structure doesn't have to be, squarely behind your home so you can't see it from the road. What you want to do is draw a line across the back of your house, and it's got to be behind that line.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, and then is there a timeline to get this work done? I don't know that's something we could do overnight or.
Oh, no, 60 days.
Okay,
If-
okay. And for that type of work, I'm assuming we might need a permit to have, permission to have it moved? Is there a process? Now I want to make sure we are going through all the right steps in order to make that happen.
Yes.
Okay, so I should reach out to the permit department to
Yes,
find out?
so in the same building where the zoning office is the permit department. What you can do is visit them and find out what forms you need. And they're
Okay.
going to send you back down to zoning. And we're just going to check the setbacks and make sure it's behind the back line of the house.
Okay.
As long as you're not in those two, we'll permit it.
Okay, okay. Great, and if the permit process were to take a little longer, would that provide us a
Oh,
little bit more time?
Sure.
Okay.
As long as you start the process.
And we're recording that we're taking care of
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Okay,
all right,
all right, thank
Okay.
you.
thank you.
Any questions?
Just a point, it may be that they end up wanting to put it somewhere near a sideline or a rear line, so obviously they can't put it in the blue area on our screen, but it may be that there might be some benefit to holding this instead of denying it, to let them figure out where they want to put it. You might wish to explore that with the applicant. I'm just throwing that out as a suggestion or a matter for your consideration.
I think she can work with planning and zoning to find a appropriate spot for the shed. I think that would be the best move.
Okay, so to check in with the zoning office to see where they might recommend a good placement of it would be.
Okay. Any other further questions or comments?
You can have a seat for me. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So my motion regarding V22 is to deny based on the sewer easement and floodway.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call to question?
Should we, excuse me, should we have also added that the applicant is to meet with the zoning department and how many days they have? Should we add that
Yeah,
as well?
we should also add as a clerk's note is to direct them to remove the shed within 60 days and to meet with the zoning office to permit the shed.
So what he said, we had it on the clerk's note.
All right, Robin, you have that? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. It passes 5-0. All right, I believe that concludes the cases on our regular case agenda. Have we had an opportunity to review the minutes from work session and also from our previous zoning appeals meeting? I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of January 14th, 2026.
Second.
Call to question? And is there a vote to, or, I'm sorry, a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, can I have a second? All right, and we are adjourned. Thank you.